Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Meghan and Harry Tales. I'm Adrian, your royal truth teller, here to cut through the noise, spill the real tea, and clap back at anyone throwing shade at Harry and Meghan. Because let's face it, if the haters are still mad, Meghan must be doing something right. Now, grab your favourite beverage, tea, coffee, or whatever keeps you caffeinated, because today's story is going to have the trolls in absolute shambles. We're talking about nominations, cultural impact, and why Meghan Markle continues to live rent-free in certain people's heads. Let's get into it. All right, let's get into today's story. Our Duchess of Brilliance, Meghan Markle, has just been nominated for a People's Choice Award for her hit Spotify podcast, Archetypes. That's right, Hollywood, step aside, because Meghan is out here snatching trophies like it's her full-time hobby. Now, of course, the British tabloids are choking on their tea right now. You can almost hear the Daily Fail typing through gritted teeth. But, she's supposed to be irrelevant. Meanwhile, Meghan's podcast is topping charts, scoring nominations, and making real cultural impact. Somebody pass those outlets a stress ball. But let's talk about what this nomination really means. The People's Choice Awards aren't some industry circle jerk where executives vote for their friends. No, honey, this is the people choosing. Real listeners, real fans, real human beings who connected with Meghan's message. And that's what's got certain corners of the internet absolutely pressed. You see, when Meghan and Harry stepped back from royal duties, the narrative was supposed to be failure, irrelevance, and crawling back with their tails between their legs. Instead, we got Netflix deals, Spotify contracts, and now award nominations. The math isn't mathing for the haters, and I'm absolutely living for it. So, here's the scoop. The nomination was confirmed by Rebecca Sananes. She's the head of audio at Meghan and Harry's Archewell. Rebecca popped on Instagram and proudly shared, "Archetypes is nominated for a People's Choice Award. If you like our show, please vote." And listen, if you're one of those people who complains but secretly listens, yeah, you can vote too, we won't tell. But let me tell you why Archetypes deserves this nomination and more. This isn't just another celebrity chat show where famous people plug their latest projects. Meghan is out here doing the academic work, the emotional labour, and the cultural heavy lifting that most podcasters wouldn't even attempt. The podcast launched in August, and from episode 1, it was clear this wasn't going to be surface-level content. Meghan's had guests like Paris Hilton, Mariah Carey, Issa Rae, Serena Williams, and Mindy Kaling. But here's the thing, she's not just having conversations with these women. She's deconstructing the harmful stereotypes and labels that have been weaponized against women for centuries. Take the Paris Hilton episode. While the world was busy calling Paris an airhead and a dumb blonde, Meghan saw through the performance and explored how Paris deliberately cultivated that persona as protection in a misogynistic industry. That's the level of analysis we're getting from Archetypes' depth, empathy, and intellectual rigour. In the most recent episode, she tackled the tired old myth of the so-called angry black woman, a powerful, unapologetic conversation that had listeners snapping their fingers in agreement. She brought in academic experts, personal stories, and historical context. Honestly, Archetypes isn't just a podcast, it's therapy the internet desperately needs. Now let's talk competition, because the category is stacked. Meghan's podcast is up against big names like Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard, Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, Call Her Daddy, The Joe Rogan Experience, and several others. These are established shows with massive followings and years of content. But here's where it gets interesting. Most of these shows follow predictable formats: celebrity interviews, comedy bits, or bro-science discussions. Don't get me wrong, they serve their purpose, but what they're not doing is advancing important conversations about gender, race, and power structures in society. Call Her Daddy has its audience. But can Alex Cooper facilitate a nuanced discussion about intersectional feminism? The Joe Rogan Experience gets millions of downloads. But when's the last time Joe had a meaningful conversation about the unique challenges facing women of colour in media? Meghan entered this space and immediately elevated the entire medium. She's competing with podcasters who've been doing this for years, and she's holding her own because the content speaks for itself. Quality over quantity, substance over sensationalism. And let's be real, does Conan O'Brien look like he can handle Mariah Carey in a sit-down chat about the diva stereotype? Exactly. Meghan's got this in the bag. But let's zoom out and talk about the bigger picture here. This nomination represents something that goes way beyond podcasting. It's validation that there's an appetite for content that challenges the status quo, that asks difficult questions, and that centers marginalized voices. For years, we've been told that audiences don't want heavy content, that entertainment should be escapist, that politics and social issues should stay separate from pop culture. Archetypes proves that's complete nonsense. People are hungry for conversations that matter, for content that makes them think while it entertains. And can we talk about the timing? This nomination comes at a moment when women's rights are under attack globally, when discussions about gender equality and racial justice are more important than ever. Meghan isn't just making a podcast, she's contributing to essential cultural conversations. The fact that she's doing this as a woman of colour, as someone who was essentially exiled from the British royal family for speaking her truth, makes this nomination even more significant. She could have retreated, stayed quiet, played it safe. Instead, she's out here amplifying other women's voices and creating space for conversations that desperately need to happen. This is what authentic influence looks like. Not posting sponsored content or promoting lifestyle products, but using your platform to create meaningful dialogue and social change. Now, I know some of you all in the comments are going to say, Adrian, what about all the criticism? What about the people who say Meghan is just seeking attention? First of all, of course she's seeking attention. She has important things to say. The idea that women, especially women of colour, should shrink themselves and speak quietly is exactly the kind of archetype that Archetypes is dismantling. Second, let's talk about who's doing the criticising. It's mostly the same outlets and commentators who have been wrong about Meghan from day one. They said she'd never fit into royal life. She tried and was systematically undermined. They said she and Harry would never make it in America. They're thriving. They said their content deals would flop. Netflix renewed them. And now we have award nominations. At what point do we stop listening to people who are consistently wrong? At what point do we recognise that the criticism isn't about Meghan's actual work, but about discomfort with her success? And here's the tea: the louder the critics get, the more successful Meghan becomes. It's almost like their negative energy is fuel for her fire. They're out here doing free promotion while complaining about giving her attention. The irony is chef's kiss perfect. So, December 6th is when we'll find out if Meghan takes home the trophy. But honestly, the nomination alone already proves the haters wrong again. Archetypes is cultural, it's powerful, and it's unapologetically Meghan. If you support our Duchess, get your clicking fingers ready and cast those votes. The voting is open now through November, and every single vote matters. This isn't just about Meghan winning an award, it's about validating the type of content we want to see more of in the world. But let me make a prediction right now. Whether Meghan wins this award or not, Archetypes has already changed the podcast landscape. Other creators are going to see the success of substantive, socially conscious content and follow suit. We're going to see more diverse voices, more important conversations, more content that challenges rather than just entertains. And that's Meghan's real victory, not just personal success, but elevating an entire medium and creating opportunities for others. That's what leadership looks like. That's all for today's episode of Meghan and Harry Tales. The tea has been served, the receipts have been pulled, and the truth has been told. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video with anyone who needs a reminder that Meghan Markle stays winning. Drop your predictions in the comments. Do you think Meghan's taking home that People's Choice Award? And let me know what other topics you want me to cover, because your girl has plenty more tea to spill. Until next time, I'm Adrian, and remember, the Sussexes shine brighter the more the world tries to dim them. Keep supporting authentic voices, keep demanding better content, and keep living your truth. Peace out, beautiful people.